Well, hello, everybody. It is Thursday. This is Ryan Lanier with Organizing for Good. And as I always start out these interviews saying, this is my absolute favorite time of the week because hearing and learning and knowing about all the amazing nonprofits out there makes my heart huge and full. And I love hearing directly from the people who are doing super hard work out there. And this is no exception this week. I'd like to introduce Nicola Cotto from We Are Not Broken. Thank you for coming to the show.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
So we're just going to jump right in. I'd like you to introduce yourself and your nonprofit and who you serve and how you do that.
So my nonprofit is We Are Not Broken, and we serve women and girls that have physical and emotional scars. And how we do that is through photography and videography and storytelling. The basic premises of it is to give women and girls the platform to boldly share their stories and not isolate themselves or hide themselves in shame and guilt, and just really proudly share their story, share their scars, show the world that they're not broken, that they are enough.
Not an easy task, for sure.
No, it's not, and it's a very rewarding task. I can tell you, I probably get more out of it than the women do. It is life changing. It really is, because some of these women have held on to their trauma or that fear of being judged, of being looked at as less than, and they've held on to that. Some of them for like their whole entire life, and when somebody's in front of them, total strangers, and telling them that it's okay to share, they're beautiful, they are enough, they're made for more, it empowers them to want to share. So yeah.
So you do this through videography. How do you find the women?
What's really great about this is I don't find them, they find me. I have an inbox full of I call them submissions, that come through the website, that come through word of mouth, that come through Instagram, of women really wanting to tell their story because somebody believes that is a thing of beauty. So that is the first step for a lot of them for healing. You know, they heal physically, but the emotional aspect behind that is something that is not dealt with easily. So
no question. My burning question is, what is your story that you've come up with such an incredible niche, honestly, in the nonprofit world?
Well, wow. So I was a strength and conditioning.
Whatever you're comfortable sharing.
I could talk about We Are Not Broken all day long. I was in the strength and conditioning world for 24 years. That's what I did. And I listened to women beat themselves up every day. They were my clients. They would come and they would say, you know, I got to do this, or I'm not good enough here. I've got to lose this. This part of me is ugly. And over and over and over. You know, my sister died of cancer, and that was a very pivotal moment in my life. That I would never take one more day for granted. And I retired from strength and conditioning. I picked up my first love, which was the camera. Took a whole year to learn digital photography. Volunteered for a year at my church on the photography team. And I'd really been searching and seeking of what to do with the second half of my life. I wanted to make a difference, not a paycheck. So I was, just talking to God, and I'm like, I want to do this. I want to capture people in their vulnerable moments, in their times of pain, or in their times of joy, or something that is captured and it lasts forever. Photograph is such a powerful tool.
Yes.
That, a lot of us take for granted. We can snap a pic and that's it. But that actually, most of the times, outlasts our lives. It's there for. So, I had a friend come into town, and she had just buried her mother. And I hadn't seen her in a long time, probably 5 years. And I knew that cancer had ravaged her body too. She was a former client. And after burying her mother, she was traveling back home to Alabama from Phoenix, coming through Texas. She knew I was in Texas, and she said, "Hey, Nick, can I come and see you?" I was like, "Yep, come on up." She drove 2 hours north, and she came and spent the night, and I had a makeshift studio in my house. So I'm like, "Hey, let's go take pictures. Let's go hang out in the studio." And she's like, "Cool. Do you want me to get all made up?" And I'm like, "Nah, not really." I said, "Let's do something really raw and real." I said, I don't like fluff with the camera. And it has its place. That's something I didn't want to do. So I said, "Hey, can I take pictures of your scars?" I knew she'd had a double mastectomy, full hysterectomy, 36 years old. And she's like, "Yeah, sure." So I took pictures of her scars. And she had this massive butterfly tattoo on her back, and her scars went round her back, and the butterfly wings just fell on the scars like they were all supposed to be there. It was like the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. Yeah, it was just such another profound moment in my life. And I said, "Can I please share this with the world and put it out on Facebook and use it as a tool to reach other women?" She was like, "Yeah." So anyway, we got up that morning, she left, we said our goodbyes, got my cup of tea, and then started opening my inbox, my emails, and my inbox was full of women reaching out saying, me, do me. I was like, okay. And it's like I heard God say, "This is what I want you to do." We call it "We Are Not Broken." And it was literally just like that. And I was like, okay, I'm going to hit the ground running. And I'm like, it's got to be a nonprofit, because that's how I have to value the stories. There's no profit in that for me. So I sat down and learned everything I could about becoming a nonprofit entity and, nonprofit for dummies, YouTube, all that.
Right.
Did all the paperwork myself and submitted it and got approved at the state level. Then the federal level, they said it'll take about 3 to 6 months. I literally got my IRS determination letter in 21 days. And that was it. Since then,
Incredible.
every step of the way, it's been an amazing step of faith, but also like a gift that I feel I've been given to do this. So, and I've probably photographed over 300 women, still have an inbox full. So, and now, we're reaching further out to get affiliate studios all across America. So every woman and girl has access, because scars to me are not limited to Georgetown, Texas, where I'm at.
Sure.
Worldwide. And until we create a culture of not only acceptance, but as viewing these stories, these pains, these hurts, these scars, physical or emotional, as a strength, as a beauty, then I won't stop. I'm going to continue to change that culture, one story at a time. So,
well, I think my goosebumps have goosebumps by now, and I may cry. So that was incredible. Wow. So it's like you say that, you feel like you get more out of running your nonprofit than the women necessarily. And I feel that way when I do these interviews, for sure. It goes straight to my heart. So thank you for sharing that. That is absolutely incredible. So, so it doesn't sound like COVID has, I always ask, the nonprofits I interview, how has COVID affected you? And most people have had to make major pivots, but this doesn't sound like it has for you. Has it?
I will tell you that last year during all of COVID, that was my best year. That was my absolutely best year. Because it forced me to take a step back and evaluate exactly what stays, what goes. Because me being so like creative, I'm like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to serve here, serve here, serve here. And my first gala I ever put on was in 2019, and I had no experience. Like, this is all new. It's day by day for me that I'm learning. And I put a gala on, and nobody knew anything about me. I'm new to this. I was new to this town and nobody knew me. Nobody knew what I was doing. It was a brand new concept. Nobody does what I do in the nonprofit world. So like that encompasses every single scar out there. So I put this gala on and we sold a few tickets, and I gave most of the tickets away just to get people in the door, because I knew once they heard the mission and once they heard some of these women speak about what it's actually done in their life, that empowerment, I knew that that would form some kind of interest in the nonprofit. And I raised enough money to pay my rent out in 2019 for the whole year of 2020. I had no idea what would happen, no idea. But I just knew that I had to pay my rent, because if I have a studio, I always have a space to tell stories. So I had stepped out in faith to get a studio, didn't have, completely stepped out, and every month up until the gala, it was paid for. Or I would do $50 photo shoots, and I would just really work hard to raise the money. But that to me was paying that rent for a whole year, was like, okay, all right, Lord, you got my back. I know I'm going to keep going because this is your organization and you're just using me to make it happen. So yeah, so for me it was, okay, I'm not going to be in the studio, but I can be in the studio by myself and work and email and call people and figure out how to fundraise or put on a gala. And we actually put on a gala last year when
That's amazing.
nobody said it could be done. And I'm like, I just really felt like, okay, we got to go for it. And we had this location. It was a ranch, all outdoors. Donate us the location. In 6 weeks, we pulled off a gala where we had 185 people at the gala, all outdoors, huge sprawling ranch. So everybody could social distance, feel safe. And I think at that point in the year, people were ready to get outside of the house. It was great for We Are Not Broken, which raised enough money for me to pay the rent for the rest of this year, which
Beautiful.
Studio, everything outside of that can come from fundraising, but the studio is the main thread where we have to always have it.
Right. Absolutely. Because that is how you serve the women. So beyond the photography, just absolutely integral. What else? I mean, how do you help them with their story and their recovery? Basically.
It's so many things. We're actually implementing a mental health program this year.
Wonderful.
So that is something that's been paramount since the beginning, but obviously do everything all at once.
Right.
We donated 33-foot camper that we need to get renovated. That's going to be the mobile We Are Not Broken photography unit, so we can take it to women and girls.
Incredible.
We can be out here. That's another vision I had, so that we can, there's some amputees, or they can't get out. They can't get out. They can get to their drive maybe, and we can serve them like that. Or we can go to a farmer's market and somebody might come up and you just know that they are hurting or they are walking around with this baggage, and we can help them unload that baggage just by having this mobile unit. Then we also have a 2019 book that's completely done and getting ready to go to print. And it's a hard copy book of all of the 2019 SCAR stories that I'm so excited. Every house, every doctor's office, everywhere should have this book. It should be a staple that you can look at it. Oh my God, this is beautiful. I want to get it in doctor's offices for women who have just been diagnosed with cancer. And look, it's going to be all right. It's not just, I'm going to lose my breast. Say, what does that look like? Let's tell you from other women who have gone through that. This is what it looks like, and it's beautiful, so.
Oh, huge paying it forward. And just how many people just need that little ray of sunshine, like right then. A lot of what I do is about community and not trying to do everything by ourselves. And going through something terrible like this is at least as important as going through in a community. So what a way to what a way to give that gift. That's amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot of things on the horizon. I'm so excited about. We want to go in. I want to go in prisons. I want to do scars behind bars. I want.
Oh, yes.
I've actually done scars in Africa. I've done children's scars, like scars of loss from a child, a miscarriage, scars of
Mhm.
racism. We've done so many different, things, scars. We just touched on everything. Everybody is not getting off this planet without a scar, and women especially. I mean, you go to
Mhm.
every checkout counter has a fake image of a woman, and that's just pressure. You know,
Mhm.
that scar, you add that hurt, that trauma, whatever it is, you add that, and I can never measure up to this.
Mhm.
So detrimental, and we need to stop
Mhm.
this. We need to stop it.
That message is, we've got to break that message. Tell us about, upcoming this year. Are you having a gala as well?
I'm actually having a gala. It's going to be November the 6th. It's going to be at the Shoutout, Texas Ranch. It's Denim and Diamonds. And I'm so excited about it. We're going to have a VIP tent. And, this is year 3. So we're
Mm.
going to do it bigger and better. And we're going to have all of our women there. And we're going to have speakers who have gone, who have done
Oh.
story. They're going to share because that night is about them. So
Mm. Mhm.
featured for We Are Not Broken, they're obviously getting in the gala for free. They don't have to pay anything.
No.
It's about them and us serving them. And then June the 6th, I'm a big Jeeper. I have a huge Jeep.
Oh,
Uh,
yes, Jeeps.
my Jeep community, they're putting on a big event where we get to, you can bid and you can bid on this. It's like it's not a raffle item. You can drive your Jeep over a vehicle, and the highest bidder gets to do it. When the Jeep community, that's pretty big, That's I'm really excited about that. And next week on St. Patrick's Day, I'm going to be speaking at the Georgetown Beard Club. They've asked me to come in and speak, and so it's really just getting this message out that we're
Mhm.
here for you, and yeah.
Getting the message out. That is so true. And that is along with every nonprofit out there, because each one of them is doing such beautiful work and serving such beautiful people. I was going to say that for the gala, when the women are giving their stories, I hope you have a large Kleenex budget.
Oh yeah, yeah. A lot of tears. Like you don't get out of my studio without tears. You just don't. Like usually I'm behind the camera, like
Mm-hmm.
is happening. And I'm like, just keep it together, just keep it together, just keep it together.
I always feel that tears are about healing. My mom always said that to me. I'd be like, why am I crying? She's like, you're growing, you're progressing. I don't know why I'm crying.
Yeah.
So this is just absolutely amazing. So this is the part where I mean, you've told us a lot about what you're doing, because I really love for my community to know literally how they can support you. And you've mentioned all the galas and all the things. So all of that is on your website and your socials. Talk about, how people can find and support you.
Yes, like if you go to wearenotbroken.org, there's a link to the event there. There's a page with projects that we're working on. You can donate from that page. The biggest thing now is really funding, and actually having, like, we don't have any employees from the beginning. I've been a volunteer for the past 2 years, just pounding the pavement. So we want to move into that realm of, an official CEO and an
Mhm. A board of directors type of thing.
we have a board of directors.
Okay.
but always the board of directors is volunteers. So the
Okay.
thing is to bring on the CEO, that's a
Okay.
paid, to bring on the assistant to help the CEO, and then
Yes.
you know, the camper project, the mental health project,
Mhm, mhm.
2020 book. Then I'd love to replace all these fake magazines with a magazine project, and then all
Wow.
affiliate studios to just grow, you know.
Right. Right. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of woman power, people power,
It does. And money,
and
you know,
money power. Yes.
usually very hard for me to ask for money, but that's usually what makes organizations survive. It makes them
Oh, yes.
thrive, not only survive, but thrive, because
Right.
you can't do what I do without that, you know.
Mm-mm.
So, yeah.
I think my favorite thing about you and this whole conversation is that your ideas are boundless.
Yeah.
I mean, you've probably had like 3 new ideas like just during this conversation. I can tell you're, the scars behind bars, and I could tell that you are so in touch with how you're touching people that I think it just comes to you in brand new ways. But it really is. It does involve more people and more money to put these things into
Yeah.
reality. So I'm so excited hearing about this and how hard you're working. Wow.
Which, you know, to me, like I'm a firm believer when you're doing what you love,
Mm,
easy. It really
mhm,
do what you love every day. Every day I go out of here and I know that I'm going to impact somebody's life. I'm going to change somebody's life. I'm going to make a difference.
mhm. I
So,
agree completely that you are, for sure. And clearly you do not take that lightly. You take that very seriously. And that is amazing. Thank you for all that. Thank you for having an idea and going for it, even though it was hard and continues to be hard. And clearly you were just working. I keep saying you're working hard. You are. It's incredible. I'm overcome.
thank
So,
you.
is there anything I have not asked you yet that you would love to say before the interview is over?
Um, I can't,
Something from the women. I mean, we haven't really talked too much about the women. Is there just 1 or 2 things you would get us in touch with the women?
you know, the biggest thing is they come in the studio and that's where I'm gonna cry.
I know. I'm right here with you, girl.
I just put these lashes on. I don't come in the studio and they don't know us. They don't know me. They don't know.
Mhm.
And who's another amazing person who's volunteered from the beginning doing their hair and makeup.
Mm,
They know us, and when they leave, they're hugging us. You know, they're telling
mm,
everybody, and it's like they come in with their baggage and they leave it there. They don't take it out.
mm,
And that's the biggest thing, is that's the big change for us. When you get a call and somebody says, you know, I had the suicide hotline on speed dial before
mhm,
you. That's like huge.
mhm,
And you know,
mhm,
when you can empower a little 7-year-old girl who's got no hair because she's just beat brain cancer. I mean, that's
mhm.
so.
Thank you. I know that was hard to talk about, but that was perfect. Oh, wow. I know everybody watching this interview is just grabbing for the hankies. They're also smiling because in such a hard world, you're basically saying, I don't care that it's hard.
Yeah.
This is so important. So,
You know,
wow.
to me, it's like my sister she didn't get the chance to do anything.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
that's the least I can do.
Her legacy,
Yeah.
her legacy. Gosh, Nick, thank you so much for your time and everything you're doing. I want to thank everybody that has been watching, and I'm going to thank people going forward that are going to support by sharing and donating and attending all the things that We Are Not Broken is doing. And wow, I have no words. So Thank you so much for watching the nonprofit shout out interview for this week. And we will be taking a break next week, but we will be right back at it after. And I want to thank you guys for watching and for your time today. So we will see you next time. Thank you.